to do tonight, while I'm still talking, is if you would, because we'd like some group participation here, if you've used one of those savings mechanisms, would you please type in what it was and how much you saved last month? For example, if you, like I saw Darren last month in the free stuff, saved over $600. If you would just put down how much you saved in free last month and just put free and then the amount and send it in, and we're going to try to take some averages so that we have some stuff to give to Brandon, okay, so that he can enter those numbers for us. Okay, so we're going to start with the free stuff. We'll do that for about 30 seconds, then I'm going to move on. Okay, Brandon, are you about set up to talk about what it is you're doing, or you need a couple more minutes?
Yeah. So Jim, what I wanted to say is some of these numbers, if you're in front of your computer that you're seeing here, what I've done here with this trainer account is I have put together the actual numbers in America of the debt to the average household, and what it does is it considers a mortgage, credit cards, car loans, student loans, and those kind of things. Okay, so what you're seeing in front of you is total debts with a debt priority. And as we start to take in these numbers that Jim is talking about, I mean, you look at this in orange, what this indicates is out of $232,500, just making minimum payments, if everything went perfect in your life, you'd be out of debt in 2038. However, even just by the software prioritizing exactly which one to pay off and when, it's going to save you $52,000 in almost a decade just on that. I mean, Jim, that's just huge. This is just on applying $0. If you look up here, it says $0. I can afford $0 towards debt each month. Okay, so this is considering zero. So, Jim, I'll turn it back over to you just for some averages.
Okay. Now, and I want to add something to that, Brandon, and especially young people. Some of us that have been around the block a few times, like myself, I can tell you that compounding interest is a beautiful thing if it's working for you. If it's working against you, it is devastating, okay? So one of the reasons we wanted to illustrate this stuff for you tonight is so you can understand just how good a business we're in. Because I bet you 95% of you don't even realize it. It's very, very powerful what we're going to show you. So Brandon, believe it or not, the first average is going to be in the free stuff, and that average is $500. Okay? Now everybody, while Brandon's working those numbers in, could you please give me some examples of sell discounts last month, please? Type them in, and then we're gonna take those.
So Jim, just in applying the $500 now, guys, when he's talking about the $500 on Wake Up Now free, that's free stuff that Wake Up Now gives away per day. They give somewhere around $100 a day in free stuff. So if you look at what it did before, it was at 9.4 years. By just applying the $500 on Wake Up Now free, that is going to give them an extra $40,000 in savings towards debt. Okay? All right, Jim.
So Brandon, what you're saying then is that is $40,000 in interest savings?
That is $40,000 in interest savings.
Okay, and that's based on the $500 of free stuff.
That's correct.
So Brandon, hey, would you do me a quick favor just for fun? Let's knock that down. Just knock it down to $100 a month for the free stuff. I'm just curious at what that would do for the total debt picture here.
So it still gave us an extra over $20,000, or actually it's almost $14,000 just even on $100 towards debt. So now we're at $63,724 in savings on interest, just shy of 11 years.
That is unbelievable, Brandon. And again, I just hope that you guys are understanding what interest is doing to you. It is killing all of us. And just, you could see the difference even from $500 to $100. Even if it was $100 a month, look at the savings there. Okay, Brandon, on the sell discount, okay, we're going to go $32.
Okay. So we'll put, so 132, right?
Yep.
Okay. So just even on that, that added an extra $3,000 in interest savings. That's huge.
Now, Brandon, explain that, because when you're saying $3,000, you're talking about versus if they were just making their regular monthly payment with nothing extra going to it, correct?
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So amazing. So that $32 a month saved how much in interest?
So it saved another $3,000 in interest. That, I mean, that's just on your cell phone.
Yeah. Powerful. Okay, everybody. How about grocery? Give us some examples of some grocery savings last month. We'll go about 30 seconds here, and then we'll take the average there. Now, Brandon, are you writing these numbers down? Because what I want to do is I want to illustrate the IBO, the Director 3, and the Founder 3, and show how that number we end up with can really be magnified.
Yeah, so I'm seeing here on grocery the average is about $70.
Which is okay, good. Enter it.
So let's just put even. So let's just round it off. Let's just put 200.
Okay.
And so I can afford $200 towards debt each month. So click that. Press enter. Now we got it just shy of 11 years, $72,333. I mean, that's huge.
From $200 a month.
Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, everybody, how about your cashback mall? Give us some examples of savings in your mall. And don't be bashful. We could use the help. What numbers do I have? I have 78. Okay, Brandon, I don't know if anybody's entering in, but what I had from the people that sent in to me today, the average was $78.
Okay, so let's put it even, yeah, so 278. That saved us another $5,500 in interest.
Okay, and then the final one, Brandon, is the averages I got today on the premiums was $46.
Wow. 46 on premiums, that's good. So let's run out, so 50, so let's put it at about 330 then towards debt. That saved us another $3,000. It's amazing, Jim, how acorns become oak trees, just little things to make a difference, because now we've gone from being out of debt in 2038 to being out of debt by 2025, saving $81,000 in interest.
And Brandon, you know what, and I know because I remember when I first got started buying a home and doing all those things, we just automatically assume that it's, you know, that's the way it is, right? When we buy a home, we pay huge interest, but we get that big tax write-off, which is a joke, right? You know, when we have credit cards, we make our payments. We don't realize, as long as we have cash flow, I mean, they don't teach us this in this country. Unfortunately, when we go to school. But as long as we have cash flow and we're making our payments, we're not getting behind, a lot of times we get lulled into believing that that's okay. But really, truly, everybody, I want you to understand something, and this isn't just me talking. Banks want us to pay interest from cradle to grave. It's just, if you don't believe me, ask your parents how many of them have actually paid off their homes. Now, I bet you'd be surprised that not very many of them have. One of the reasons is this compounding interest that we're putting a huge dent in. Brandon, another thing that I'd like to add to that, and I thought we could make it kind of small. You know, we talk about the tax spot, and share with us what we found out the average was this month in savings on tax spot.
Yeah, and so kind of like I was saying, the opportunity presentation is just this last month they took some numbers of averages of people using TaxBot and Wake Up Now, and the average deductions savings was about $1,900 per IBO. And if we put it around, you know, a 30% tax bracket, you know, even 30% of $1,900, let's just even say, let's say $500, okay? So, I mean, it's just huge because, like, I saved even more than $1,900, but, like, just even on average, once you actually break it down to what do you actually save on those deductions, depending on what your tax bracket it was, and even at 30%, I mean, let's plug in 500. Let's just round it up to $800 on this, okay?
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is let's put 800. So we're at 80,969. Wow. Yeah, now we're at 102,647. We're 15.7 years savings, interest, debt, all the way down to September 2022, just by adding in those TaxBot savings as a business owner.
You know, Brandon, what's interesting is how would you like to be debt-free 15, 16 years ahead of time? Again, and you know what? That $102,000 in interest that we're saving so far, that's your money, everybody. That's the money that you would be paying these banks if you did it their way. Didn't do it our way. Didn't take advantage of what we're doing. That's your money, and you will pay it. Okay, so we've got an answer. Brandon, let's do this now. What I wanted to illustrate was just, and those are real savings. But let's if we could do, let's go through this, Brandon, and what I'd like to do at the very end is cut everything in half and still show them some numbers based on really conservative figures. But
okay.
If someone were a IBO in this business, they just got started, they weren't making any money, we know that they're spending roughly $100 a month, okay? Well, we've got $800 worth of savings here, so subtract that 100 for a total savings of 700. So as an IBO, what would our total amount be?
Yeah, so we're still at just shy of 100,000, 15.2 years would be out of debt March 2023.
Okay, great. Now, when we become Director 3s, we know the company pays us $100 a month residual. So now we're back to that $800 because we get our business for free. Now we're back to that 102. Now, Brandon, what happens when we become Founder 3s?
So let's go back to that. So let me bring up the Founder 3 slide for those who haven't seen opportunity presentation. So Founder 3, this is where you've got a $600 a month residual. So you've enrolled 3. You've helped those do the same. It means you have a team total of 12 people, and you only have to enroll 3 of those. So you're talking about $600 residual. And so what I can do is go back, let's plug in an extra 600. So now we're at $1,400. Let's see what that does to this. So now we're at a debt in less than 7 years from today. We've saved shy of $119,000 in interest and 17.8 years of debt.
That is amazing, Brandon. Again, 17 years of payments we just got rid of. And Brandon, one of the things I want to say for the young people, because I know we've got a young group out there just tearing this business up. And guys, I got to tell you, we love you. But, you know, learn from some of us that have made mistakes and don't make the same ones we did, okay? You don't ever have to accumulate the kind of debt that a lot of people have over the course of time here. I mean, people like myself, I mean, you know, if you talk to your 40, 50-year-olds, even 60-year-olds today, most of them, unfortunately, are mired in debt. You guys don't have to be. And then for some of us that have been mired in debt, as you can see by what Brandon's illustrated, there's a great way out of it with Wake Up Now. Hey, Brandon, there's a couple quick points I wanted to make, then I wanted to ask you to do one more thing. You know, the TaxBot, you know, you were talking about how the average Wake Up Now representative was saving or was getting $1,900 in tax deductions per month. You know, for a lot of people out there that don't understand, or who have always been employees and don't realize that there's some great tax benefits out there, one of the great things about our TaxBot tool is it gives us excellent educational stuff so that we can learn as we go. I got to tell you, the other day someone just clued me in on something that I could take off my taxes that I didn't know. And how long have I been paying taxes, Brandon? 30 years? You know, I mean, it's crazy. So that tool is very powerful as well, because you're going to learn a lot of new ways to save money on your taxes. And look, we know we all have to pay them, but there's no law that says we have to pay the maximum amount of taxes. That's why the tax code in this country was written for small business owners. We need to take advantage of that. Brendan, you want to add anything to that?
You know, I think the thing that's so powerful here is, guys and gals, let's even cut this number in half. Let's be really conservative. Everyone's situation is a little bit different. So let's take it from 1,400 even down to 700. Say it's really conservative. And guys, this is just even at the Founder 3, okay? Let's just say it's $700 a month. I mean, look at this. You are out of debt. You are out of debt in less than 10 years. You will save 15 years of debt and almost $100,000 in interest.
Unreal.
That's how much it means to be a Founder 3 in the 600 Club in this company, even if you didn't save a dime. However, if you didn't become a Founder 3 and you were saving on taxes and you were saving on spending, ultimately you're going to save on interest. But guys, you got to use this software, because interest is either working for you or it's working against you. And when I came to this company 3 years ago, I was already making great money, but what I found was that this financial snapshot gave me my current reality. And I said, wow, I need to do something about that. It would take me forever to get out of debt, because I thought I was, quote, doing pretty well, which I think a lot of you probably think out there as well. I didn't have my debt prioritized the way that the software did, because the software is smarter than me. And so the thing that I want to say is, guys, in my opinion, this is the most powerful tool in all of Wake Up Now. Now, you may not lead with this, maybe you do. But as I said before, what's Wake Up Now? We're a financial wellness program. We help people save, manage, and make money. And we save them on interest, taxes, and spending. Interest being Wake Up Now Finance, taxes being TaxBot, and spending being on the benefits program in Wake Up Now. I mean, we are trying to get people in this country out of debt. And I don't know of any way to do it better than through Wake Up Now.
Hey, Brandon, I was talking to President Jason Elrod the other day, and Jason told me one of the company's goals this year is to eliminate $1 billion in consumer debt. And how many companies out there can say that? I mean, you know, not only do we see some great advantages here, but as a company and as a overall team, we're trying to help people. And when we say we're trying to help people, we mean it. We're backing it up. And it's something that you should be really proud to be a part of, because for those of you who own homes and those of you about to go buy them, let me tell you something. When you get that truth in lending statement, you look in that right-hand corner and you see that your $200,000 house is costing you $500,000 over the course of 30 years, remember that that is your money. That is your money that the bank is taking from you, okay, in order to loan you that money. You can do something about it. Hey, Brandon, could we do one other thing? I was thinking about a $24.95 silver customer that may not be taking advantage of our income opportunity and maybe not even taking advantage of the TaxBot. And I was thinking, what happens if we just put $125 in savings in there per month? What would that do for one of our customers?
It saved them 11 years of debt payments. It saved them just shy of $66,000 in interest.
So everybody think about that. If you don't think that our customer, our silver package, can help people, look again. It's right in front of you. These aren't fake numbers. They're real, okay? And we all know, those of us that have taken advantage of our savings, that $125 in savings a month is nothing. Applied to that financial software, they could save $65,000 in interest. That is crazy, okay?
You know, Jim, and the other thing to think about is, guys, a lot of other companies, they just talk about making money, making money, making money. You know, the thing is, the more money you make, the higher tax bracket you're in. It's not about making more money. People still find a way to climb themselves into more debt. They buy a bigger house, they buy a bigger car, they buy more toys. This financial tool is going to help you become financially intelligent to say, look, of course I want to make as much money as possible. However, this is my current reality and it looks kind of ugly. But here's what I can do about it. I don't have to live on beans on rice and rice on beans necessarily. It's the little things I do with my money, the savings I get, it's going to make the big difference in my life. I mean, acorns become oak trees. Little things become big things, just like debt. But you can make those little things cut down that debt. I mean, look at this, $125. How many of you right now are spending over $125 a month in fast food? What that's doing is it's going to increase waistlines and decrease bank account balances. We can take that same $125, you don't have to starve to death, you can still eat out, but $125, put that towards debt and look at what that does for your life. That's $65,000. You can do a lot with that money. I mean, there's not a lot of people out there right now that have $65,000 in their total 401ks or savings account, retirement account, or anything. We are about freeing people from the chains of debt, Jim.
I agree, Brandon. And you know what? You know, when you look at what we're trying to do, what our goals are as a company, and you think about that we have put together the most, oh gosh, what's where I'm looking for here? We've got the, in my opinion, number one, we have the best kept secret in the country today. But we also have the easiest way for the average, hard-working, everyday network marketer. And guys and gals, what I mean by that is someone that has a full-time job, someone that has kids, Little League games, church, you know, Girl Scouts, all those good things. Anybody is capable of putting together a team of 12 people. By putting together that team of 12 people, you can increase your income $600 per month, every month, and look at the damage you've seen tonight, what that money or even portions of that money can do to your debt load. To me, it's staggering. I think the best thing I've seen tonight, Brandon, was actually our example on a $24.95 customer, because I think people don't realize that my gosh, it's, you know, $24.95, blah, 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 but those people take advantage of savings as well. And then the other thing is, when you really look at this, we all know that if we're taking advantage of the tools we have with Wake Up Now, our $99 a month should be wiped out by using our tools. But think about that. Is it worth $99 a month to get rid of $100,000 in interest and 12 to 15 years in payments? You know, ask yourself that. Pretty crazy. Brandon, go ahead.
I just got a request from someone to plug in the Founder 4 at $2,000. If they were to take all that, again, we're not saying quit your job. If you were to just take your Founder 4 income and plug it in, look at this. You'd be out of debt in less than 6 years and save $127,000 of interest payments in 19 years of savings. It's huge.
Hey, Brandon, let me add one thing to that. And here's something to think about, everybody. Think about this. If you look at that number, $126,000 in interest that you saved, and you paid that debt off in 6 years, let me ask you this. What happens if all that money that you were going to be paying in interest, you put into some type of interest-bearing account where compounding interest was working for you? How much, I mean, think about that. If you could take $126,000 in interest savings and invest that, how much money might you have at the end of your original debt payoff date? You would be absolutely blown away. Unfortunately, we can't show that, but everybody, it would be staggering. So just the last thing I want to say, Brandon, I'll leave it to you to close, is just realize what we have a hold of is very real. It is doing a great service to the people you're talking to. And one of the reasons we wanted to show you this is we know we have an awesome compensation plan, an awesome company. We want you to realize how awesome our membership package is. It is powerful what it can do for people, and you've seen it tonight. So, Brandon, thanks for having me on the call tonight. I really appreciate it. Appreciate your help on this. You're a great upline, and I'm glad to be working with you, buddy.
Jim, I appreciate you being on as well, guys. Again, I want to make sure that for all who are on the call tonight, to catch the vision of what we're trying to do here at Wake Up Now, and that's free people from debt. Debt absolutely makes people depressed. It causes people to abandon marriages. They abandon jobs. They abandon friendships. They abandon all sorts of things. And if we can help people financially to save money, manage money, make money, save them on interest, taxes, and spending without having to sell lotion, potion, powder, pill, or bug juice, you can do that at Wake Up Now. So by tonight, you can come right in here to your Wake Up Now back office. You can click on product, click on finance. You can pull this up. And, I mean, everything right here, your accounts, you can aggregate your bank accounts. Again, this is just a trainer account. This is not my account. If it was mine, I'd be depressed. And so if you look at this, you've got your accounts, you've got your spending pie, you've got your budgets. It'll set up based upon your behavior, your debt tab that we just went over to have all of your transactions month by month. It has your dashboard right in front of you, so you can come in, see your 30-day cash flow, your net worth. If you have any, too many people are in the negative, so we can change that with finance. This is just a simple tool to use. And if you want also, again, this is recorded, but also on here, how to use Wake Up Now Finance, right at the bottom link here on wakeupnowf.blogspot. That's kind of a how-to video on this. Again, we will have this recorded. I will have it out tonight. This is an extremely powerful tool. We are changing lives one person at a time in this country, and we hope that you'll join us. We hope that you'll lock arms with us and join the Wake Up Now team. Again, the worst thing that can happen to you is you're going to save a pile of money, and you're going to go on a trip paid for by the company. Good night, everyone. Thank you again so much for being on. Won't take any more of your time. Look forward to seeing you again. Thanks, everyone. Bye.